Hi, what's up? And welcome back to the Relationship School's Smart Couple Podcast. What is happening, folks? My name is Jayson Gaddis. I'm your host. And today I've got a really special announcement. This podcast is for you if you are into growing and developing yourself because you get that learning about yourself and acquiring tools will get you results you want in your life around whatever area you're struggling with. Be it fitness, finance, relationships, you name it. When you're struggling, you look in the mirror, take responsibility, and deal with yourself so that you can get the results you're after, right? So we here at The Smart Couple challenge you to look in the mirror on a regular basis. And that can be uncomfortable and confronting to the part of us that would rather just check out, distract, or avoid taking responsibility. You know, we all have a victim living inside of us at different times, right? And sometimes we want to be rescued. We want other people to do it for us because it's hard. I hear you. I want that too for myself sometimes. And usually it doesn't get me anywhere. So when I want a result in my life, I work for it. And we here at the Smart Couple Podcast encourage you to do the same. Okay? Now, check this out. Here's our special announcement, and that's what this episode really is about. The Smart Couple book is out. By the time you're listening to this, you should be able to go to relationshipschool.net/smart couple, click that link, and it takes you right to Amazon, where you can order a print copy of this book. And you can also order a Kindle version if you're a Kindle reader. And coming up in a couple of weeks, you should be able to get an audio version of the book on Audible, okay? So I'm just really proud. I'm really grateful. I'm really psyched. And I want you to have this book in your hands. It's the kind of book that could sit on a coffee table in your home, or it could sit in your car, or it could sit in a little gift-wrapped box for someone else, or it could sit by your bed at your nightstand and something you just take a quick peek at before you drift off to sleep. Or if you want some inspiration or you want to feel challenged, you open to page 22 and you read a quick quote for 30 seconds to get a little aha or a little wake-up call, okay? So this quote book is unlike most relationship books. I don't actually know of a book like this. I haven't seen one on the shelves in bookstores, but it's an inspirational quote book designed for short bursts of dopamine and short bursts of insight so that you can get back in the driver's seat of your relationship life. It's meant to make you think, and it's meant to challenge the way you do relationships and invite you into a much, much bigger possibility. All right. So this is not a big, thick, complicated relationship book that you're going to that's going to sit and collect dust on your bookshelf or your nightstand. This is a doable, readable, digestible book that can happen 5 minutes a day, or you can bang it out in a weekend if you really want to. So it's a very easy read, yet the penetrating insights are going to invite you deeper into yourself and to relationship with someone else. So in the very beginning of the book, I've got a lot of suggestions on how to work with this book. Okay, if you're single or partnered, if your partner's into personal growth and development, or whether they are or they're not, I've got basically some action steps. Okay, you know that I like action steps in this podcast. Like do one thing today to make your relationship awesome. All right, and in the first few pages, I have an action step outlined for you. One action step, okay? And then I have bonus points, all right? I'm reading page, just in the introduction here, the last part of the introduction, I talk about bonus points, all right? If you want bonus points, you go above and beyond the action step with this book, and you're going to get a lot more out of it, all right? So who is this book for, all right? I've said this in an email, and I just want to say it to the listener again. Okay, this is for singles looking for feedback on maybe how you left yourself behind in the last relationship and inspiration to take you into the next relationship. All right, it's for partnered individuals, meaning your partner will probably never read a book like this, although it's totally doable because it's so short. But you're with someone who maybe doesn't want to read it. So you can still put this daily quote practice in place, and I imagine they're going to feel relieved by you getting off their back, and you're going to feel more connected. So just a little burst. And if you, rather than shove a big book in their face, you can say, honey, before you go to work, I just want to read you this interesting quote. And you could read them a quote, which takes 10 seconds or 30 seconds or a minute of their time. All right. So I think this kind of book is the type of book that, you would want to share a quote or two, either on your Facebook wall or just with a friend or partner and say, hey, what do you think of this? And you guys could talk about it. All right. This is obviously also for couples. Okay, if you're a couple listening and you want a fun relationship book that's going to confront you, challenge you, and also open your eyes, this quote book is for you because, again, it's something you can do a quote a day or a quote a week and talk about it and go on a date night and actually get into it around some of these quotes. All right, and I think you're going to naturally go to the next place in your relationship if you treat this quote book as a practice for the two of you. Now, I'm not going to lie and say some of these might cause a fight, all right? That is just plain true, and that's the confronting nature of some of these quotes. You might both disagree. You might gang up and want to fight me about it and just say, hey, that's total bullshit, Jayson. Or one of you might be completely bought in and say, hey, honey, I think this is really true. What do you think? And they might be like, that is complete nonsense. And now you're in a fight. All right. So remember, fighting's not a bad thing here at the Smart Couple. If you know how to work through it, it takes you to the next place. So the two of you can get stronger through this. All right. Now, strangely, this is also a quote book for yoga instructors, meditation instructors. And why am I saying that? Well, have you ever been to a yoga class where the teacher reads a quote at the beginning or end of class? Well, a lot of their quotes are about the self, right? Self-love or do this by yourself. Everything's by yourself. And there's rarely are there quotes that they're reading about the path of relationship and love and how do we support another human being in our life and how do we listen to them. And so there might be, if you're a yoga teacher, you're going to be like the coolest, most hip yoga teacher on the block because you're going to pull out the Smart Couple quote book and read just an inspirational quote at the beginning or end that's going to have people go, oh my gosh, right, relationship. It's not just about me sitting here on the mat doing my solitude practice. It's about being in relationships with other people. So this would be good if you're a yoga teacher, right? Certainly it can also be for a corporate person or a person who leads teams where you might want to, on your company whiteboard, you might throw a quote up on that and just let it sit there for a week. And then you might bring it up. Hey, does anyone have any thoughts on this quote over here about relationships? I'm so curious. And then you can apply that to your team and ask the question, how are we doing, people? What's happening between us that isn't working and that could improve? All right. This is also for you time-sensitive, busy people. All right. I know all of us are, a lot of us will say that, are overwhelmed and inundated with constant noise coming at us. And we're just trying to, make ends meet and meet the day. And we hit the pillow at night and we are just finished. I hear you. So this is doable for you. Okay. Again, this isn't the big, dense how-to book. This is a very doable quote book where you, for seriously 10 seconds to 30 seconds to a minute, you can learn. There's learning in just a minute a day. So if you have the story that you're too busy for books, this is still for you. I'm going to challenge you to even you can squeeze in this. All right. All right. So I think this quote book is I just have a feeling it's going to impact you a lot in a positive way because of its digestible nature. All right. So you tell me though, would love your feedback. And if you like it, obviously leave a review on iTunes. If you like it a lot, share it with a friend, buy them a book for the holidays. And, this is, a lot of this comes out of my work with individuals and couples around relationship and so many years in the trenches with people. It's been fun. So I'm going to read a quote here just to leave you with, since we're at the holidays. And just as a way to encourage you. Someone once reminded me what bullshit it is when people say, once you find the right person, a relationship won't be hard work. This is indeed total and utter bullshit. The right person for you is the person you're with, the one who is triggering you in exactly the right places you need in order to get stronger as a human being, period. That doesn't mean you have to stay with this person, okay? But it does mean you have a vast ocean of growth that they're offering you if you choose to play your relationship this way. So if you want more suffering, stay stuck in the childish fantasy that it's supposed to feel good all the time. All right, that's... And then, if you buy the audio version, and if you also buy this version, by the way, you'll get some bonus... inside the book is a link to a bonus page where you can get 10 additional quotes read by me, and I unpack them. And then if you like that, you might go buy the audio version where I unpack them and I explain them. So let's just talk about that one for a second. So, a lot of people are stuck in this idea that if I just find the right person, everything will be good and it will feel good and be happy and easy and carefree and it'll just be amazing. That's not true. All right. It might be true for a very, very tiny microscopic amount of the population, but in my experience, that's almost never true. Where it feels good when you find the one, for some of us anyway, for a year, a month, a couple weeks, a couple months, maybe 2 years if you're lucky. And then after that, it just gets harder. And the good feelings can last, and you need to learn how to work with yourself and all your triggers and upsets. And it can slowly deepen as the two of you forge your way into a beautiful, powerful relationship dynamic that includes all the challenges. It includes fighting. It includes being upset. And you learn how to work with each other. And you become an awesome team where you high-five each other at bed at night because you're like, oh my God, we did it. We got through another day and we're still connected. Man, I love you. Good job. Versus you sleeping downstairs and them sleeping upstairs, and you're just like, I don't even know if we can do this. That's normal until we learn tools. And then you start to learn. And if both of you are learning, it's great. That's why I said it doesn't mean you have to stay with this person. Okay, as Annie Lala says, who was a guest a couple of times, they're a training partner for you right now. Whoever you're with, they're training for the one that becomes them that you might marry, or the one future person that you might end up dating down the road. But you're with the person you need to be with right now to learn whatever it is you need to learn, all right? Which might, for some of you, is setting boundaries and leaving the damn relationship. For others, it's learning how to face your commitment issues and your fear and take another step in despite your overwhelm and your fear, right? Okay. So again, lots of juicy stuff. Remember, in the back of this book, I don't think I said this, but there are a ton of quotes from people that have been on the podcast. And then a link directly to the episode number, a link to their website. Okay, I was really psyched to include so many awesome relationship people in this book. Just it's a bonus that I threw in because I thought it would be useful for you, all right? Okay, pretty psyched, guys. If you live locally, on December 5th, I will be doing a book signing at the Boulder Bookstore here in Boulder, Colorado. So make sure you come to that. And you can meet my wife and we can hang out, okay? Get a signed copy of this thing. Otherwise, if you're on the other side of the world, then please order your book and take a selfie of it, okay? We're going to have a contest at some point with some selfies and to get some interesting photos of you guys holding up this book and wherever you are. We'll give points for most interesting shots as well. Okay, again, I'm grateful. Thanks again to everybody involved. I thank, in the acknowledgement section, I thank all the people that helped me pull this book off. And there are a number of people on my team. Obviously, there's my mom and dad, my wife, and have fun with this thing. And we will continue to go further with the podcast. And again, thanks for all your ongoing feedback and support. All right, everybody, have a great holiday if you celebrate it. Great rest of your morning, day, evening, and we'll talk on the flip side.